ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Quick Questions with Eric Griffith. Tonight, why is the government trying to stop your children from going to school? We find out. William Preston is a hard-working 18-year-old all-American boy, born into poverty. To try and escape his situation, he studied and worked in school for a chance to be admitted to the prestigious New England College. His scores required that he be evaluated by what's known as the Special Admissions Committee, a small committee of admissions officers that evaluate students who fall under special criteria. And just what those special criteria are, I will show you, is extremely disturbing. Mr. Preston was denied admission to the school because of an unavoidable condition that precluded him not only from admission, but from financial aid were he to be admitted. This unavoidable condition to which I refer to is the color of Mr. Preston's skin. The trouble began when several minority students with lower test scores than Mr. Preston were admitted to the school. Upon review of the school admissions board policy, this shocking statistic was discovered. The college receives a high volume of applicants, so it uses a numerical system where certain aspects of a candidate are considered pluses. For example, let's say you have good grades or you're a particularly talented artist. Those will each give you 10 points. Those are all aspects that make an applicant unique and special. They show that he or she has applied themselves in school and their community. Now, how much does being a minority grant you? 10 points. The same as receiving a perfect SAT score. Mr. Preston filed a court case stating that his rights under the 14th Amendment were violated, specifically those that guarantee equal protection of the law to any citizen. The case has reached the United States Supreme Court, where I watched the proceedings begin. The case was opened with a statement from Ms. Kelly Hennessy and Mr. Carson Carluzzi, who are representing the biased New England College. Ms. Hennessy opened by stating that the original intentions of the lawmakers in notable cases such as Brown v. Board of Education are irrelevant in this case. Well, Ms. Hennessy, I'd like to just stop you right there. I think that the original intentions of these noblemen are completely applicable in this situation. Brown v. Board of Education was intended to bring educational equality to all the races and to stop the segregation of schools. And unless I miss my guess, this entire case is based on educational equality or the lack thereof. I think it's pretty clear that New England College is practicing discriminatory policies. She went on to say this, and I quote, "This is not a quota. A quota requires that minority applicants are not judged against the main pool of applicants." However, minutes later, she stated that any student who meets a special criteria, such as minority status, will get individual holistic review by the Special Admissions Board. Not all students are receiving this special individual holistic review, and it seems obvious to me that they are not being considered against the entire applicant pool. The justices seem to be of the same opinion, asking, is it only minority students who are judged by the content of their character? An allusion to Martin Luther King. In addition, it seems that the college considers minority students more worthy of financial aid, as every minority applicant is guaranteed fiscal support. Non-minority students have to scrape through the leftovers to cover their costs, even if they require more money than the minority students to begin with, which would have been the case with Mr. Preston, had he not encountered racial profiling. Next to take the stand was Mr. Dylan Prescott, accompanied by Tate Bully and Max Christman. It's a good name, Christman, I like that. The debonair Mr. Prescott presented a polished argument that exposed several gaping holes in Ms. Hennessy's argument, stating that the Constitution is not malleable to decide when we grant equal protection of the laws. And indeed, he is right. Even if there are noble ends to be achieved, violating the Constitution whenever we feel it's important is not the way to do it. He went on to quote Chief Justice Roberts' majority opinion in Parents v. Seattle School District, stating, "The way to stop discriminating on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race." This is nothing less than the legalized discrimination of races, and only exacerbates the conflict between individuals of different races. Mr. Prescott topped off his fine work saying that racial diversity should not be the school's primary concern, and quote, "We don't go to school to be graded on happy-go-luckiness or playing well with others. We go there to learn facts." And the facts of this case, ladies and gentlemen, is that government and sanctioned discrimination is once again occurring in our backyard, and we're going to be hard-pressed to stop it. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. Up next is Buck McHickerson with a special news case. Barack Hussein Obama, God-fearing Christian or insidious cultist of Cthulhu? You decide. Good night, America.
Covering the globe, fair and balanced news at the speed of light. From New York, this is the Fox.